The production of duck's and geese liver. The physiological background of fatty liver production. The act of lipogenesis occurs in the liver. The carbs are altered and stored in the liver as a triglyceride. They leave the liver as a very low density lipoprotein, a VLDL. The triglyceride production leads to VLDL transport. The triglycerides are deposited in the fatty liver. The prerequisites for force feeding. They're fed rich in carbohydrates, corn. The methionine and choline are responsible for redistribution of fat, so we want low levels of these. They're lipotropes. And the age, the younger the better. The sex, in ducks you only want drakes, and in geese you want both. The liver size before feeding is also, you have to factor in that. And the flexible membranes of the liver cells, the hepatocytes. So the length of the force feeding and the liver weight. So in ducks, you start the force feeding at 9 weeks old. The starting body weight is 4 kilograms. The duration is for 10 days, and the feed frequency is twice a day, and they gain 800 grams a day of corn. And the liver weight goes from 300 grams to 600 grams. In geese, you start the feeding at 12 to 14 days. The starting body weight is 4 kg, the same as the duck. And the duration of feeding is 14 to 21 days, which is longer. And the feed frequency, at day 1, you start twice a day, day 2, 3 times a day. And after 3 days, you give them 4 times a day. And the feed goes from 400 gram liver to 750 gram liver. The breeds and hybrids used and the genders. So in ducks, you use Muscovy or a Mullard, which is a cross between a Pekin female and a Muscovy male. In geese, use grey Landes, or they're you hybrid them with the Toulouse goose, where you get the Gourmand. And ducks, you only use drakes, as the livers are too small in females and they're too veined. They look disgusting. And ducks, they're preferred to geese as they are cheaper, easier to force feed, and obtained continuously within a year. And the feeds, you use corn. The starch is converted to fat within the liver. In Muscovy duck, you give 6 to 7 kilograms per duck. This leads to 0.6 to 0.7 grams a day per duck. In the Mullard, it's 8 kilograms a day per duck, and this leads to 0.8 grams a day per duck per day per duck. In geese, it's for 14 days, you give 14 kilograms per goose, which leads to 0.93 grams per day per goose. And in geese, it's 21 days, you give 22 kilograms per goose, and this leads to 1.05 per day per goose. The technology is a feeding tube method and feeding machine method.